Hey, YouTube family. We're going to see how this goes today. I'm not even sure if we're going to make it, but happy crappy hour. Hey, welcome to Happy Crappy Hour. Happy Thursday to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. I am at a public library, so we'll see if I can get away with this. There seems to be other people here who are talking, so we might be okay. So, you guys, I'm so glad that you're here. I am on travel, and that's why Oscar and I are not at the same place we normally are. Check out this library, it's pretty nice. Yeah, check this out. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that, well, things are going well, and yeah, we're on travel, but we're still here, and I'm glad that you're joining us. And today's topic, I think it's really important because, as we go through the holidays, uh, we go through a lot of turmoil because we question ourselves a lot and we wonder what did we do to one deserve the treatment we got from the narcissist or toxic or abusive person in our life, and two, um, we feel like there's nothing we can change about ourselves, and we get depressed, and the depression sets in even more around the holidays. So I wanted to talk about this today because I figured you guys need to know the truth. You need to know that there are others who are feeling just like you are, and that the abuser that has been in your life, or the neglectful person, or the person who just completely went cold turkey from you and cut you out of their life with hardly an explanation, who leaves you twirling around and wondering what you did wrong, how you could have changed, what if there was anything you could have done to change the outcome, change where you are right now. So I wanted to help you to see that there's a truth here that you need to hang on to, and there are some lies that you're believing. But today, mainly, I want to talk about, how the narcissist goes from hate to love, or love to hate, right? So quickly. And it's not your fault that they do this. They blame you for it, of course, but it's not your fault. And I want to go through this four reasons that they love you, and four reasons that they hate you. And you're going to see it has nothing to do with you. This is just how they are and how they think. It's absolutely insidious. It's absolutely demented. It makes no sense. And there's nothing you can do to change it. So, well, for those of you who are new, Happy Crappy Hour is about learning from the crappies, right, in our life, things that happened or things we've done that messed up our life or messed up our day, or, that didn't work out. And we want to stop doing those things. So we learn from them. And the happies are things that did work out in our lives, whether it's good fortune and we had nothing to do with it and it was just pure luck. That's great. We hang on to that, the feeling and the things that we learn from it. And the happies are also things that we did do right. We took action, we made choices that turned out well. So those of you who are joining and wondering why I'm speaking so quietly, I'm in a library. I was going to take you to the park, but it started raining. And I was okay with the rain, but then it started blowing. So it's blustery and rainy outside right now. And that's why we're in a library. As you can see, these windows are really nice. I found a really pretty little corner for us. And okay, you guys, I want to see how you guys are doing. Oh, you know what? I need to change a couple of settings here. There we go, so I can see you guys and not get any distractions or disturbances. Oh, what happened here? I wonder if I can see a little better. A little blurry. Hmm. All right. Well, you guys, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Um, you know, part of my crappy this week has been, thinking about the times that um, I had suffered at the hands of really angry narcissists that just turned on me, and I didn't know why, and I tried to figure out what I could do differently, and I became, um, you know, I withdrew into myself, and I started trying to figure out how can I please this person, how can I get their approval, how can I get their love. So I started bending and twisting myself into things and into ways that weren't me. It was trying to please them. And then I come to find out there was really nothing I could do to keep them happy, to keep them pleased with me. And when you grow up like that, you become quite a huge people pleaser, and you get really low self-esteem, and you start to think it's always your fault no matter what happens, right? And you try to figure out how you could have done something differently or what you could have done differently. So you don't have much of a sense of self. You don't really develop who you are or your strengths or even coping skills. You don't have any of that because you rely so heavily on the narcissist or the abuser's approval of you. And you're thrown back and forth depending on what their mood is, right? I was watching, and this is terrible. I really like this comedian, but I don't really recommend him because, I mean, okay, I like him, but I don't like him. I like him because he is hilarious on some things, but then I don't like him because he's so negative, and it like pisses him off to see happy people. And that's when I start to go, what? Why would you be pissed off to see happy people? And he just like wants to see people suffer. He wants to, and it amuses him if he can ruin somebody's day. And I thought, holy cow, that totally reminds me of a narcissist, how they behave. Now, I don't know that this comedian is a narcissist, but he's trying to relate to the audience, and he's asking the audience, am I the only one who feels this way? When I see a happy person, I just want to, punch them in the face, and I'm thinking, I remember there was a time, or probably still is, where people joked about that, and they thought it was hilarious to make really happy people miserable. And it's sort of like the sarcastic, arrogant, pessimistic lifestyle, I want to say, because they live this way, and they're sarcastic about everything, and everything's negative, and they think it's hilarious. I think it's a coping skill that they developed, really, to handle all the negativity and the gray and the darkness in their life that they had grown up with, the pain. And I know this particular comedian did grow up in a pretty abusive household. So maybe that's the way he saw it, because his dad was abusive towards him. Anytime he or his siblings were happy, the dad would come down on them and tease them and mock them and make them feel miserable for being happy little kids. So he's taken this into his comedy where he mocks happy people as well. But at the same time, he also kind of recognizes he needs to change. He knows that, there is good in the world, and he wants to make people laugh and see the funny in the tragedy and the darkness of their life. So in that way, that's why I like him. But the thing that I thought that came out of all of that was narcissists don't ever break out of that. They're miserable when they they're miserable when they see happy people, because it reminds them that they're not happy. They're jealous that other people can be happy or do well without them, or are better or happier than they are. So let's jump into this, you guys. The things that uh, narcissists, they go from hate to love and back to love, or back to hate again, or they start off loving you, and you think, this is so great because they love me, they see me, they know who I am, they appreciate me. And especially if you had grown up in an abusive relationship or an abusive household where you were not appreciated, you were not seen, you were only blamed for things. So the initial attraction to the narcissist is going to be that they look at you, they appreciate you, they think you're funny, they think you're handsome, they think you're beautiful. They're holding on to, every word that you say because you're just intriguing to them, and you've never been treated this way before. So you think, wow, it feels lovely. It feels amazing, right? To be noticed like that. And I want to tell you, yeah, they love you. Um, they love you, first of all, because they're intrigued by you. You're new to them. And so because you're new to them, they want to see like what it's sort of like getting a present. You want to open it up and see what it can do, right? A new toy. What can this new toy do? And you're intrigued with it for a while to see what all its functions are and where you can take it and how you can play with it. And that's what the narcissist sees when they first meet you. They're like, wow, new toy. What is this toy? What does it do? What are the buttons? What makes it go up? What makes it go down? um, is it funny? Will it entertain me? Is it good at sex? Is it um, is it entertaining? Does it have any talents? Can it sing? Can it dance? Is it imaginative? Can it paint? Does it speak languages, other languages? So they look at you like you're just this interesting, brand new box of toys they just got, and they're just trying out all the different facets of you, and they love that. It's exciting to them. It distracts them from their own miserable life and their own problems at the time. So they focus on you. Hey, you guys. Hey, Obi-Wan. Good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm kind of quiet now because I'm in a library. So those of you joining, that's why we're kind of whispering today. I'm hoping nobody kicks me out. It's raining outside. I was going to take you on to a park. I'm out here visiting friends of mine. So while they're at work, I decided to do Happy Crappy Hour and catch up with you guys. So, yeah, we were just talking about why the narcissist loves you, right? And I want to explain something else to you. The kind of love that they feel is very fleeting. And that's why I'm covering what they love about you. And it's almost like it's not quite anything that you could do to hold their love. So it's not your fault when they stop loving you. So this is why I'm covering these points of why they love you. And you can see, like if they see you as a new toy, why you can't hold on to that love. Because you're not going to always be the new toy, right? You're going to eventually become the toy that sits on the shelf or the toy that they forgot under the bed, or the toy they leave in a corner at somebody else's house or at the train station because they're like, they're done with it. Okay, here we go. Obi-Wan says, I gave up on my narc finally. Yes! I'm glad to hear that. Letting go of them is hard and it's a long road, but it's a necessary road. And once you let go completely, you are so free. Okay, hold on, let me see. Obi says, you mean I wasn't smart, caring, and good looking? I mean, I might agree with the good looking though part. Yeah, well, yeah, you can attract them absolutely because of the way you look at first, right? And then as they get to know you. This leads me to the next reason why they love you. Because they don't just fall in love with the first person that's good looking to them, right? You can't be just, they're going to attach to someone just because they're attracted to them and they're intrigued by them or they're interested in a new toy. What holds them to you is that you love them back, that you adore them, that you look at them the same way with admiration and you're intrigued and you're excited by them. They love seeing how you react to them. So they're in love with how you are reacting to them, how you adore them, how you admire them, how you compliment them. They're in love with you loving them. So, you guys, that's what is drawing them to be in love with you. They're just excited to be around you because you lift them up. You give them attention. You tell them that they're amazing. And they fish for compliments from you, as you know. They like that at the beginning of the relationship, you're pouring a lot of compliments onto them because as they're reflecting back onto you, you feel amazing. So you tell them how amazing they make you feel, right? And you tell them you've never felt this way with anybody else, just them. So, of course, this adoration that you're pouring onto them makes them fall in love with you, right? They're falling in love with your adoration of them. They don't know anything about you. They don't know what, you know, you as a person, how you think, or the value that you bring because you can love and you're compassionate and you're caring. They're not interested in that. They're interested in, are you a good cook? Do you make meals for them? Do you adore them? Do you pour attention on them? Do you let them know that they're the most amazing person you've ever met? Like, so long as you can hold that up, or and you can't hold that up forever, right? You can't keep that going forever. Are you seeing this right now? Those are two of the things that make them love you, I guess, love the things about you. They don't actually love you as in they want to make you happy. They love you because they want to take care of you. They love you because they want to make sure that you're safe, right? They love you like they would protect you. No, they don't love you in that way. They love the things about you that are fleeting and that are new in the relationship at the time, or that you provide for them in the relationship at this time. So, another thing that they do. Oh, hey, you guys, I guess some more are hopping on, but I have to switch to. Oh, here we go. Clicking on the screen, and that's why my screen moves. And it helps me to see you guys. Hey Jihad, good to see you. And Heather says, I still am not totally healed, but working on it daily. It's so hard to believe that they didn't love you. Yeah. Obi-Wan says, finally I accepted defeat with my narc, but feel I won doing it. Yeah. It is hard to, you think that they've defeated you. And yeah, they may have taken advantage of you. They may have used you. They may have even bankrupted you, you know? They may have even taken away your social circle and turned them against you. There's so many things that narcissists will do to damage you, but in the end, if you can get away, I would agree with Obi-Wan. You win. You win if you can get away, because you can take this incredible treasure of all that you have learned, all that you have gone through, your battle scars. Really, it's it's I know it sounds corny, but you do learn from your mistakes. You do learn from your trauma, and you do get stronger. And the cool thing is, people who've gone through that, I feel, are far more resilient once they go through it. Resilience is not just simply people who've never experienced anything and therefore they don't know what trauma is. Because when trauma hits them, like bankruptcy, for instance, they won't know what the heck to do. When they've lost a friend, they don't know what to do. When they've become the target of gossip, they don't know what to do. Suddenly their world is turned upside down. But once you've gone through all of that with the narcissist, whoop, hold on, you guys. I dropped something. Once you've gone through that with the narcissist and you learn from it, you find this incredible inner strength inside of you. Well, you guys, let me keep moving on here as you guys hop on. Amanda, good to see you. All right. So, if you guys are wondering, I'm at a library right now because I'm visiting some friends, and isn't this pretty? I really like this place. This is, a pretty little corner that I found at the library where some other people are talking, so I'm hoping it's okay that I'm doing this show and nobody will stop us or kick us out, right? So, yeah, today's topic again is why the narcissist goes from love to hate so quickly. And to cover that, I want to explain to you why the narcissist loves you to begin with. And as you listen, you'll find that the love that they feel for you is fleeting. It's not permanent. It's not a kind of love where they actually attach to you and they see you as an entire whole person that they want to love and protect and keep safe and want to make you happy. They are only seeing you as this toy that's separate from them. that they are intrigued by, that they're amused by, someone that they want to see what can you do, what can you perform, how are you different from the other toys. So that keeps their attention and their love and their intrigue on you for a while, and they seem to be loving you. I know I'm using the term love, but this is how you feel. You feel like they love you because they keep telling you how much they love you, right? They tell you you're their soulmate. You're so different than all the others. And it's only because right now you're bringing something new to them that they hadn't experienced before. Maybe you have a talent that others don't have, or maybe you are especially good in bed. I don't know, right? And they really enjoy that. Or you're an amazing cook, and and at the moment, you're giving them a lot of attention. You're giving them a lot of adoration, which of course they love. So they love how you're reacting to them, and that's what they love. Um, Another thing is they love how others are jealous because of you, right? If you're particularly attractive, or you make them a couple, right? They love to be around single people who are looking for somebody, and they're with you, so they're no longer single. And so people are just mesmerized by this romantic fairy tale relationship that they have with you. So others are wanting to have a relationship just like what they have with you. So they love that other people are watching the two of you, right? Especially them, and are jealous of them for having you. So they at first it seems like they're holding on to you, and they care about you, and they're pouring on the romance, right? And they make you feel like, oh my gosh, nobody treats me this way. Oh, somebody's going to walk into my screen. So yeah, they're thinking that, I don't know if I can keep him on my screen, you guys. This is terrible. I wonder if I can. Okay, here, I'm going to try to move this a little bit. All right, I'll just scooch this around this way a little bit. Yeah, so they're just in love with what you bring into their life, and they love it when others are jealous of them. So it makes them feel extra special, right? Okay, another reason that they love you is that, oh, I think I actually covered. Oh, I'm sorry, here we go. They love what you can do for them. Like if you are paying for their rent, if you're giving them a car, if you have a lot of money, if you give them status in the community because they're with you, if you bring them into a society that they're not used to, right? Into the party scene, or the up and coming scene. They love what you can do for them. So these are the things that they fall in love with their supply. They don't actually fall in love with the person. They fall in love with what the person can supply for them. So now that you know, or actually, I'm sure that you've already found out a lot of this, right? But once you understand that if that's what they love, no wonder they can switch from that to hate on a dime, because you're not a person to them. You're not somebody that they're concerned about. You're not someone that they think, oh, how can I brighten your day and make you feel appreciated, and how can I make changes so that I don't hurt you. Yeah, they're not into that. They're into, well, what are you doing for me? How do you make my life better? What is it that you can do that can amuse them, right? Or entertain them, or keep them distracted from their miserable lives, or their misery, or their pain, or their stress. So here we go. So you guys, let me see what all you're saying here. Oh, sorry, hold on a second. Charlotte, good to see you. Yeah. Heather says, he is always miserable. It's so sad. He had so much opportunity just to be happy. I know. It's, I think in this area, it's okay for people to talk, but there's a group over here talking, so I guess it's okay. I just don't want to talk too loud either because, well, the topic, is not something that everybody wants to talk about or listen to. Heather says, oh, okay, I'm going back a little too far. Dana, good to see you, says, I have come to understand that he has gone from love to hate so quickly is when I see him on social media constantly in chat with women. Yeah. Yeah. So, that's the thing that makes us kind of wonder, like, what did we do wrong? Why are they so hateful towards us? We're the same person. We have the same skills. We always did. We have the same abilities. We still cook, or we still make the same money, or we still provide rent. Why is it now suddenly that they hate us? Because we're still the same person. And what happens is it's no longer new to them. Other people are not as jealous anymore. They're not getting as much attention for being around you or being with you. They're not, the novelty of you is wearing off. They're, like an old toy. They're just not as intrigued anymore. You can't do the same magic trick over and over again and still entertain them, right? So even the sex gets boring for them. And they're like, okay, anything new, that doesn't excite me anymore. And if you're not, and listen, even if you do try different things and you do change yourself, you learn a different language or a new talent, or you move to a better position at work, or you're making even more money, it doesn't matter to them because they already have experienced what they're going to experience from you. They've already taken from you the exciting part that was making them happy. But then now I hate to say it, but they're bored. They want to see something else. They're almost like ADD, They want to see what else is out there. And they start to feel that itch, like, okay, even as great as you are, there's got to be somebody even greater. And so they think they can move on to somebody even better. But here, let me tell you the things that they hate about us, okay? They hate that we're human and we have needs. Yeah. So in every relationship, no matter how wonderful the other person is, they're going to have some needs, right? They're going to have things that they like or need from you. It's our different love languages, right? If it's gifts or something like that, they need to see that you think of them once in a while, or you need to see that they think of you once in a while by surprising you with a gift that makes you feel like, oh, they know you. If your love language is touch, you're going to want to have some affection, some cuddling, some hugs, some caresses. And you're going to ask your partner, this is my need. I need to feel this way. I mean, I need to have this in order to feel loved. And they'll be willing to do this for you. Then a narcissist gets frustrated with that because why? Why would they have to bother, right? Why do they have to do something differently for you? They expect you to be able to go on the little that they gave you to begin with, or they filled you up once with love bombing, and that should sustain you for years. Like, that's it. And they think that your tank should be full from then on. So, any needs that you have later on that start to surface will completely frustrate them, and they will start to turn on you, against you, or possibly just detached from you. So, let me see, you guys. Hold on a second. I just want to catch up on some of the comments here. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing too. Heather is saying, we're never good enough for the narcissist. Yeah. Yeah. Charlotte says, my narc ex told me stories about everyone they knew, and and me. It's not just they hate, it's most people. It's true. Because they're extremely jealous people. All right, you guys. So another thing that they hate about us is that we have faults. Yeah, imagine that, right? We're not perfect. They expect us to be perfect. They expect us to remember everything. They expect us to always be on time for them, of course. If they're late, that's no big deal. They expect us to remember everything they said to us. If they say that I don't know, something small, like they like a certain, let me think, a certain kind of towel, right? Um, they expect us to always remember that. Like, don't ever bring them a certain kind of towel because to them it's not absorbent enough. It has to be a certain thread or a certain composition of cotton and linen and whatever. You're like, what the heck? How am I supposed to remember this? I just got the one that was in front of me. They expect you to know exactly how they like things and remember it. So the fact that you don't remember everything, the fact that you sometimes are not perfect, sometimes you get sick, right? Sometimes you might catch a cold and they get mad at you for bringing that cold into the house. It's like, well, in order to catch the cold, you had to get it from somebody else. It wasn't like you created the cold, and brought it home. Um, but when they get sick, it's not their fault that they caught the cold. It's somebody else sneezed on them, somebody else coughed at them, and they did everything they could to not catch it. And therefore, it's not their fault that they're bringing the cold home and you might catch it from them. So you see, it's whenever you do anything that, and it's not even really a fault. Well, I guess it is to them. If you're not perfect, you're not perfectly healthy, you're not perfectly energetic, you're not perfectly composed, you don't look perfect when they want you to look perfect. That upsets them because it makes them feel that they look bad, like you're making them look bad. So they hate that about you and me, of course, right? Um, Another thing is they hate seeing, oh my gosh, this is a big one, you guys. Oh, you know what? Even before I go into this, no, actually, all right, sorry, I'm just going back and forth because I have a good example for you for one of these, and it's not quite yet. They hate seeing some of their own flaws or weaknesses in you. Yeah. So they know that, um, let me think of some of the things that they hate. Okay. They know that sometimes they're not the most motivated. Okay. They know they're not able to win everything all the time. So when you lose, they feel like they lose. For instance, if you don't get that promotion, they get mad at you instead of making you feel like, holy cow, it's kind of loud right now. I think they're rolling something by. Sorry about that. Wow, can it be louder? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, if you don't get that promotion, then they blame it on you because they think you should be the CEO of the company by now, even though they're not. Okay, they think that it just reminds them of their failures, the fact that they're not as high up as they should be. It makes them feel like they didn't get the promotion, so they get mad at you, which is crazy because they should be there to soothe you, to encourage you, to let you know that, next time you'll get that promotion and how to get that promotion, what you need to work on, right? And they'll be there to support you. That is a healthy relationship. But no, whatever you do that looks like a failure to them or looks like you have a flaw, like say you have a pimple, right? They get mad at you because you're supposed to go out to this fancy dinner or whatever. And how dare you get this pimple? How dare you not take care of your skin all week to make sure that your skin was perfect and flawless for this particular occasion? It's like, what the heck, right? Like they've never gotten a flaw on their skin before. Why are they all upset at you? You feel already bad enough, right? But they're concerned about their own image. They're not concerned about you. They're concerned about how you make them look. So are you seeing that these are not things that you can change? These are not things that you can say, oh, if I had done this differently, if I did take care of my skin all week long, if I did get that promotion because I didn't work hard enough, if I only had worked hard enough, if only I had stayed longer at work, if only I had developed a relationship, with the management, it's just them trying to put blame on you, even though you did everything right. And oftentimes we walk away from these relationships questioning our worth and what we did and how badly we failed. Because this is how the narcissist sees themselves, and they put that on us. They're in so much pain and they're in so much anger at themselves that they want you to feel it too. Because they think like if you're feeling it, then you can take it away from them. Then they won't feel so bad about themselves. But it doesn't ever solve or fix their problems. It never does. And that's when they start wondering like there's something wrong with you because their problems are not getting fixed. They don't fix the internal problems and they continually walk in reality with these internal problems developing into consequences in their life, right? They're not getting the promotions. They're not looking as great. They're starting to falter in their appearance, or they're not as popular as they used to be, or people are not hanging on every word that they like they used to. So they want to blame it on you for the reason why this is happening. So you guys, let me see what else you're saying. Yeah. Charlotte says, my narc neighbor is up all night playing video games and then gets mad if anyone makes noise during the day while he is sleeping. Yes, yes, exactly. It's absolutely, they're so narcissistic. They're so self-centered. They have no clue that they're a pain in the butt for the rest of us. Yeah, Heather says, we're never good enough for the narcissist. Charlotte says, my narc ex told me stories about everyone they knew. Oh, I'm sorry, I already read that. And it's not just us they hate, it's most people. He always talked about everyone with disgust, but acted differently in front of them. Yes, yes, they do this. Only wanting to get ahead with so much faking. It's crazy to watch. Makes you not believe a word they say. Exactly. That is the narcissist. And only you get to see this, right? And others kind of feel this weird, twingy, something's not right sense around them, but you see it, you hear it, you get the behind the scenes view of this. But what confuses us is when they switch it on to us and they focus on blaming us and tearing us down. That's when we start to question ourselves. And what we have to come to realize is the truth. We've seen it. We've seen how they treat people. They're doing the same thing to us. And we think, but no, they wouldn't do this to us because they love us. Why would they do this to us? They do this to us because they don't see us any differently than anybody else. They see us the same way they see other people. You guys, I know this is not focusing very well. There you go. Oh my gosh. Huh. Eyes wide shut says, I sent my ex-narc an email after I kicked her out and told her all her flaws. It was a nasty email, but I'm glad I sent it. Well, I'm kind of confused because you say her and then he never called me the name, like that name again. Oh. Dana, good to see you. When I get blessed and he moves out, he will never hear a peep from me. I will never give him the pleasure of knowing ever again how I feel about anything good or bad. Yes. And this is what you have to do because you cannot share anything with an narc. If you do, they will twist it around to serve whatever mood they are in at the time. If they're feeling angry, they will turn whatever joy you had into something you wish you hadn't told them because they'll criticize it to the point where you just won't enjoy or be happy anymore or be proud of what you did, because they'll put down whatever it is that you did. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm trying to block you from the noise there. I don't know if I can. They have the loudest trolleys in the library. I'm just listening to this. This is crazy. Just awful. Holy cow, they have got to stop using that trolley here. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Oh, okay. You guys, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I am in this discussion. Oh man, the things that they hate, about us doesn't even make sense. Okay, another thing that they hate about us is that we require them to be nice to us. Yeah, we actually start standing up to them, and they hate that. We tell them, hey, just like that guy that neighbor that you were mentioning earlier, who gets mad at all the neighbors for being loud during the day, but he's loud and during the night while he's playing video games, and he doesn't care if he's waking you up. But now during the day, you're waking him up. Well, when neighbors come to him and say, hey, dude, keep it down, and at night, he'll get upset. He's like, what the heck? How dare you require me to do anything differently than what I want? How dare you curb my behavior, right? How dare you expect me to be considerate of you? How dare you want me to be nice to you, right? So this is when, at this point in your relationship, you have got to get out, because it is horrible and it only gets worse and worse, you guys. I've seen people stay in these relationships because later on the narcissist will see, oh my gosh, if you leave, they're going to be alone. So they don't like that. They don't want to be alone. They want you to be around, at least to take their punches or take their criticism or take their anger and their frustration, because who else will they be frustrated at who won't hit them back or who won't give them consequences, right? So when we give them consequences, when we require them to be nice to us, or else we're going to stay at a friend's house, or else we're not going to go to that party with them, or we're not going to get them whatever gift that they were hoping we were going to get them, or we're not going to do something for them, that makes them angry, and they hate that. Then they turn that hate towards us. These are things that causes them to hate. And yet you're like, well, why are you hating? And yeah, it's not fun when someone requires you or gives you a boundary and tells you you're not allowed to cross this boundary. No, it's not fun. But if you love the other person, you'll respect that. You'll curb yourself. You'll train yourself like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't be so self-centered, or I should be considerate. I didn't realize that I was stepping on that other person's feelings or their, their space. I didn't realize that I was impinging on that. You will curb it. It doesn't feel great to curb that, but you'll do it out of respect and out of love for the other person. This is how you know the narcissist doesn't love you. They just love what you can do for them, and when you're not doing that thing for them, and you're actually requiring them to do something for you, to consider you, to be considerate of you, that frustrates them. So you guys, the last thing I wanted to tell you about them hating us is that they hate us just because we're there. Simply that. They just hate us because we're there. People who love you will love the fact that you're there, right? They will love to come home to you. They will love that you stick by them. They will love you for being loyal. They will love you for being their companion. They will love you for being their partner. They will love you for being consistent. They'll love you because you're there for them. The narcissist hates us simply because we're there. It's like, say, a padded, what do you call it? One of those punching bags, right? It's just there. It's not doing anything to anybody. It's there, but it takes punches, people's frustration, right? Um, when the narcissist sees us, what they see is somebody that they can deposit all of their anger onto. So they're hoping that you will be this endless, open um, receptacle for them to continually pour their frustrations into. And they will keep doing it because that's what your purpose is in their life. You're just simply supposed to continue to take the junk that they want to drop onto you. And if you don't take that junk, then they're going to. This guy keeps getting into my screen. But if you don't take that junk, then they're like, what the heck? This is your purpose. You're supposed to be here to take this and not criticize me while you're taking it, of course, right? You're here and I'm supposed to be dumping onto you because I had a bad day at work, or because this driver really got me angry on the road, or was a real turkey. Um, Whatever's happening, or the takeout food wasn't ready when they got to the restaurant, and how dare that happen because they called in plenty of time to have it ready. So they're going to take that out on you. They just hate you for being there. If you weren't there, they actually would appreciate you more when they saw you, right? If you are not the person, their partner, or the one that they live with, they will appreciate you, even though they're going through all that frustration. And when they see you, this is the part that we see when they behave around other people that they don't like. They put on this happy face. They're likable, they're pleasant, they're polite. And you're like, what the heck? But with you, even though you're there, you're loyal, you're consistent, you're supporting them, they will hate you. They will pour all this hate onto you. So I'm trying to say to you is what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing you can do that will make them love you consistently. There's nothing you can do that will change them from hating you or going cold with you, right? They just don't see you as a whole person. And at the beginning of the relationship, you might think that they do see you as a person. You think that they are paying attention to you. They notice your talents. They notice your quirks, which at the time, of course, they think is amusing. They think that your little quirkiness or your likes and dislikes are fascinating, right? So you think, oh, they love me, they like all these things about me. They're just entertained. They're amused by all of this. They see you as this toy that they're getting to know. And once they know it, they're no longer amused. They're no longer impressed. They're no longer interested in your skills, in your abilities, in your brains, in your creativity. They're no longer interested, even in your beauty or your intelligence. They're like, okay, something new. They need something new. They need something new that takes their mind off of their own miserable stress that they're living with. Well, you guys, let me see. I know this is so out of my, I don't want to say comfort zone or anything. I am uncomfortable actually. I'm sitting on the floor here. But I'm kind of distracted by all the noise that's in this library, actually. It's absolutely crazy loud in here. I don't know what happened. I thought it was quieter much earlier. Oh, I wanted to tell you this one crime story I was watching, and it was horrible. It's this woman whose husband, she said for the first 3 years of their marriage was fine. He was normal. They had 2 kids, and then by the time their kids, let me see, one of them was off to college, and I think the other one was in high school. And she ended up killing him because, okay, the story is he was a police officer and he would abuse her for the last 17 years, I guess, of their marriage or something like that, 14, 17 years. And as he would beat her, at first he hid it from the family, and she would cover for him. She would say that she fell down the stairs, or she's clumsy, or she walked into a door, or stuff like that. And people, I guess, allowed her those stories, and they didn't push any further, even at the hospital, because she didn't want to press charges. And the reason he also had her imprisoned, I guess, is because he was a police officer. He would tell her, look, I am the police. Who are you going to call? You're going to call the police? They're going to believe me over you. And of course, he would degrade her and tell her that she's not worth anything, and why in the world would they believe someone who's so worthless? And here's the thing, he would carry his 2 guns around with him, she said, at all times. He would even take it into the bathroom with him while he was showering. So one time he was in the bathroom, and he had a gun on the bathroom counter. She said that they were getting ready to go on a vacation, a family vacation, and she said it was always worse on vacation, because she said, I'm not sure, the interviewer kind of suggested this, but said that, is it because he had you isolated? And she's like, yeah, because he would have me away from my family, away from my friends. So I didn't have my support, I didn't have anybody there, and couldn't go anywhere. They'd be in a new city, so where would she go? She doesn't know anything about the city. So he would have her cornered, and he would be even more violent with her when they were on vacation. The kids, who were adults at the time of the interview, said that they feared for their mother's life. That the one that went away to college said that when she was at college, she was so scared that her dad would end up killing her mom, and was afraid to get that phone call one day, that her mom was dead. Well, she did get the phone call one day, like something tragic happened. And the girl said she just thought immediately, oh no, my father killed my mom. But what happened was the mom went to the bathroom to tell him that she cannot go on this vacation with him. She was so scared to go on this vacation with him, because each time it got worse and worse, and and he had told her multiple times he was going to kill her. So she's come to tell him she can't go on vacation with him. And he goes to grab the gun, at which point she runs into their bedroom and to try to get away from him. When she's in the bedroom, she sees his other gun. So apparently he didn't take the 2 into the bathroom with him this time. He had just the 1. So she grabbed the gun, and as she's trying to leave, he confronts her and she shoots him. Okay, this is her story, of course. I'm not quite sure whatever happened, and she went to court. The interview happened before she even went to court. Or, yeah, I'm not quite sure how they did this, because nowadays, nobody can speak outside until everything's done. But she goes and she shoots him. Well, what I'm trying to say here is that these narcissists, and this guy in particular, what he would do to her, she said, and this is a small part of it, but she said, if there was traffic, if they went somewhere and there was traffic, in his mind, it's her fault. He would take it out on her. He would tell her that it was her fault that they were going to be late because of all this traffic. And somehow, all this traffic or this accident that happened is her fault. And I imagine it probably went something like this. It's your fault because if you didn't take that extra 2 minutes because you forgot your purse inside the house, we wouldn't have hit this traffic. It's your fault because, and he'll put inside his head anything at all that she had done that held them up, right? But in fact, he also had to get ready. There were probably times that she sat around waiting for him as well, and then remembered, oh yeah, I should have gotten this before, but I forgot. And it never occurs to him, like, had he gone a little faster, maybe they all would have gotten out of the house a little faster. It just doesn't occur to them. Like, maybe he stopped to get gas because he didn't get gas earlier, but that's not his fault. It's only her fault that she held him up for 2 minutes. It's not his fault for not getting gas earlier, but having to get gas on the way. Do you see where I'm going with this? I don't know if you have been with a narcissist, you will have experienced this type of blame where things out of the blue and it doesn't even seem related are somehow your fault. Like if the weather is bad, it's your fault because you know you're the one who chose this day to meet up for lunch and the weather is bad, so now it's your fault. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And if you hadn't wanted to meet up for lunch this day, then they wouldn't have to be in the rain. It's that type of psychotic blame that they put on you simply because you're there. They want to blame their whole life and all their misery and all their frustrations and all their disappointments on you because they cannot handle taking responsibility for their own behavior or for their own attitude. So, well, you guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope that this helps you to see a little bit that it's not your fault, that they go from from love one moment, right? And then suddenly tremendous hate. And you're like, what the heck happened? How did that just a little bit ago, just last week we were in love? Or how come the first month or first year or first few years even of our life did it go from this incredible, happy family to suddenly now they hate you with like everything in their body? And it's because they never did see you as a total person. They saw you as someone that could do something for them. I'm trying to see why my phone is not. Oh, there's that guy. He's still there. Sorry, you guys, for the blurriness here. I really don't like this either. If I could change this, maybe that'll help. Well, you guys, I'm going to check and see what you're saying here. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, Eyes Wide Shut says, I've been in two narc relationships. First one was a man, the second one a woman. Okay, I get it. I thought you were talking about the same person when you said her and then he, so that confused me. Eyes Wide Shut says, I think my love for the narc has turned to hate. Some days it feels that way. I totally see her in a different light than when I met her. Yeah. Dana, good to see you. Says, yes, flying monkeys are their enablers. Any person they try to recruit to their side by telling lies about you. Those people who judge me by only having one side of the story is very sad. Eyes Wide Shut says, a bad neighbor relationship can be as bad as a bad marriage. I've watched the ID channel. People get killed by neighbors for nothing. I know, it's so crazy. It is a horrible existence that they live. Very good to see you. Says, I've been single for 15 months now. Oh, this guy's leaving. Maybe we can go back to, yeah, there we go. A little better looking there. Okay, the narc told me one day, I know you hate me. I told her I don't hate anyone. By her saying that, I know it means she hates me. Wow. Or, they project back because some narcs are insecure, okay? Some narcs really have tremendous insecurity. Some do not. Those who are more psychopathic do not have insecurity. What they have is a grandiose view of themselves. But some narcs are so insecure that they they will project onto you all the insecure feelings they have about themselves. And yes, they even hate themselves, but they hate you more and they want to project that onto you. Dana says, Thank you so much for your insight. You're welcome. My chaos is hopefully nearing its end. Keep your heads up, ladies. You are enough. They are parasites. Heather says, I gave him a loving, warm home to live in. It was my fault. He had to travel for work. Yes. So, and that's something you cannot control. You cannot control a narcissist's view of you or anybody else. You cannot control what's going to keep their attention and what's not. And by the way, nothing ever consistently keeps their attention. Nothing can keep them in love with one person for the rest of their life. They can only be in use of that person for the rest of their life. You know, can they use this person? What is this person good for? And they don't respect that person actually for staying with them. They're not even um, they're not even thankful that that person has been loyal or stays with them. They're just simply concerned about how was I able to use you and were you good for using. And that is not your place. That is not your only purpose in life. Although you're going to come out of their relationship or that relationship feeling like, if only I had given more, if only I didn't upset them, if only I didn't have any flaws, if only I did everything perfectly, if only I didn't have any demands. I mean, it's ridiculous the things that you will put yourself through after a relationship with them. So, what I'm saying to you is don't do that. Don't get yourself trapped into thinking that you could have changed them. You could have made the situation with them any better. It is what it is. They cannot move on from their neediness, their self centeredness, but you can. You can move on from it. You can also take a look at yourself and make sure that you scrub off any residuals from them. You make sure that you don't take on any of their characteristics, right? A lot of times people will take on the same characteristics or some of them of their abuser because they learned from their abuser how to cope with certain stresses, right? They learned the same coping mechanisms that their abuser had. They start to take that on. And that's why, I look at the comedian I mentioned at the beginning of this, how he seems to have taken on his father's abusive view of happy people. How happy people, or him being happy as a child, upset his father, and his father would mock him and his brother, and make them feel miserable and ashamed of how happy they were, and to the point where they're crying, and the father's laughing about it, and yeah, the father might have felt bad at times, and all right, let's fix this, but then he'd get mad again at them and just cause more misery. Now, as a comedian, the young boy who grows up, right, he makes fun of it and makes light of it, and he finds a way to laugh at the pain and the absurdity of how his father treated them. But yet, when he sees happy people, it frustrates him too. He kind of sees it as, yeah, what the heck? Why are they happy? I just want to punch them in the face. And that's crap, by the way, you guys. That, you can laugh at that feeling, and he does. I guess maybe he is handling it in somewhat of a healthy way because he recognizes that he has these feelings. He's asking his audience, don't you have these feelings? So he wants to see that he's not the only one that struggles with this. And then, secondly, or thirdly, he also realizes that you don't act on this. And he tells his audience that I don't act on it. I just think things. And he realizes that just thinking them is not the wrong thing. It's how you behave after thinking it, right? So he knows not to act on it. Narcissists will act on it. Narcissists cannot control themselves to the point of not hurting other people. They will hurt other people. And those of us who've gone through it and who have learned and had experienced the trauma of them, we can learn if it comes on to us, if their coping mechanism is rubbing off on us, we can learn to not take it on, not to act on it, right? So you guys, I hope that this has helped, and it's been really great to see you guys. I'm going to see if you guys have any other comments or questions here, but I think we're done pretty well. We may be at the end of our show here. It's been an hour. I know I've gone an hour and a half at times. Today, it's just, I got to tell you guys, it's so weird with traveling and trying to do this. I'm not in my normal spot. So I'm just glad that I was able to have reception through all of this. Yay. And that I didn't get cut off. This is great. Or asked to leave the library. So that's been good. It has been really great to see you. Let me see right here what you're saying. Heather says, I gave him 11. Oh, yeah. Marika says, my ex narc stole a lot of money from me. I am a lawyer and am after him. Ooh. Good luck with that. I really hope that you're able to get your money back. Yeah. Sadly, they do see supply as targets to use and to take advantage of. And good for you that you're a lawyer and you have the skills and the knowledge to go after him. So I do wish you well. I wish that you're able to get what he took, and that you'll be able to win. Hey guys, I hope that this has helped. I wanted to share, the love-hate and why they go back and forth. And not only that, I guess I didn't cover the part where they also sometimes don't respond in violence. Sometimes they just go cold turkey. They just go completely cold with you. And they act as if they don't know you. They don't interact with you anymore. They're not interested in a relationship with you anymore. They've already started looking elsewhere for a relationship. They've already started putting out a line, a fishing line to try to catch others. And they probably already have somebody on the line, and that's why they start distancing themselves from you. And you're wondering, like, what the heck's happening, why are they not even interacting with me? Oh yeah, they're already in the neighbor's yard. Let me put it that way. They're already on the other side of the fence playing in somebody else's yard. So they're disconnected from you, and you think it should take time to disconnect. Not with a narcissist. They will move on as quickly as they attached. Yeah. And this is just the way that they are. It has nothing to do with you. You cannot change this type of behavior from them. All you can do, and I love what Obi said at the beginning, is that, you cut them out. And even if it seems like they had won you, or they had beaten you because they used you or took something from you and they left, you actually end up winning if you are able to get away from them. You're able to disconnect from them, not go in contact with them anymore. You move on. Don't worry so much if they've moved on. You need to move on. Go ahead and focus on your own life, focus on your own future, learn from the tragedy you had with them, the trauma you had with them. Learn from that. Learn about yourself. Learn what makes you tick. Learn about what weakness you had that made you attached to them in the first place, right? Learn what it is that you needed from them that made you attached to them. And then find a healthy place to receive that, right? If it's acknowledgement, if it's affirmation, find a healthy place to get that. If it was a loving relationship, find, or, a relationship where it seemed like there was back and forth, find that with a healthy person. So, you guys, hope that helped. I hope that you have a great Christmas. That is coming up soon. And if you're on vacation right now, enjoy your time, enjoy your family. Remember who you are. Remember the truth always. And be proud of yourself for making it this far. You guys are great, and I will see you next week. Many, many blessings to you.